President Marcos orders the continuous surveillance of Mpox following the detection of the latest case in the Philippines. The health department says the 33-year-old patient has already recovered after contracting the mild strain of the virus, but 41 close contacts of the patients are under quarantine. The Quezon City government says the man went to a dermatology clinic and a massage spa along E. Rodriguez Avenue while he had the disease.
May mga levels of close contact tayo. Ang mga critical doon yung type 1 na close contact. Ito yung masahista. Minomonitor po natin yung kanilang quarantine for 20 days, so hanggang September 1 ito. Wala sa kanila pa at this time na may exhibiting symptoms. High risk yung pasyente kasi marami siyang multiple sexual partner.
Health Chief Ted Herbosa meanwhile assures the public the Mpox outbreak in Africa will not start a new pandemic.
Ang malinaw kasi sa atin is COVID eh. Kaya people are thinking, naku parang COVID, magka-quarantine si Herbosa, mag-border control. This is actually more similar to HIV, which when it came out in 1983. Sa Philippines, wala pa tayong recorded case of death. Ang recorded case of death ay doon sa Africa na thousands yung cases.
The Philippine Coast Guard says it may take 2 weeks to fully extract the industrial oil cargo of the sunken tanker MTKR Terra Nova. It says newly arrived booster pumps will speed up the rate of extraction to some 200,000 liters each day. The ship was carrying about 1.5 million liters of oil when it sank in rough waters off the coast of Bataan province in July.
We are expecting that this activity will flourish at the same time. Tuloy-tuloy po yung kanilang ginagawa. Katulong po natin sila nagbabantay at nagkakandak ng containment dito po sa motor tanker Terra Nova.
3 committees of the Philippine Senate set to investigate the alleged escape of dismissed Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Go. The Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights, led by Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, will lead the probe. The Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality, led by Senator Risa Hontiveros, and the panel on Public Services, headed by Senator Rafi Tulfo, will serve as tertiary committees. Senator Hontiveros was the one who revealed Go is no longer in the Philippines. She welcomes the move to cancel Go's passports and government reaching out to the International Criminal Police Organization or Interpol to help locate her.
It is a big or a significant step dahil alam ng DFA na yung buong problema ng POGO at lahat ng kriminalidad na konektado dito ay hindi lamang national problem. Regional talaga siya. Even, we could say, a global problem. Nagsisimula ng lumiit talaga ang ginagalawan ni na Guo Huaping at ng pamilya niya. Klaro, tingin ko, na imposibleng nakaalis siya, nakatakas siya, na walang ni isang tumulong sa kanya na dapat sa halip ay pinigilan yung pag-alis niya. Bakit walang official record ng kanyang pag-alis? Buti pa ang Malaysia, may record na siya ay dumating doon.
Meanwhile, Senate President Francis Escudero doubts if the cases against Go will prosper given her absence.
Pending yung kaso hanggat hindi sa mag-appear sa korte at ma-arraign. So anytime bumalik siya sa Pilipinas, may karagdagang issue o warrant of arrest na pwedeng ma-issue laban sa kanya. Pero kapag hindi siya mahanap, ang mangyayari, i-archive muna yung kaso at pag muli siya nagpakita, magpapa-issue ng tinatawag nating alias warrant of arrest.
2 Philippine opposition lawmakers seek to remove government funding for a children's book project of Vice President Sara Duterte. Her spokesperson defends the project's cost and objective. Joyce Balancho reports.
Vice President Sara Duterte and Senator Risa Hontiveros got into a heated exchange on Tuesday when the Senate budget hearing tackled Duterte's 10 million pesos children's book project proposal. Duterte wanted to distribute her self-authored book entitled Isang Kaibigan or One Friend to young learners in public schools to help them develop the habit of reading. She launched the book during the National Reading Month in 2023 when she was Education Secretary.
Itong libro na to ay naisip isulat ng ating Vice President, lalong-lalo na nung mga panahon, no, na alam nyo naman nung nasa DepEd tayo, reading was one of our hurdles, our challenges. The story of this book revolves around yung friendship na nabuo, lalong-lalo na at napatunayan sa panahon ng aberya o kalamidad.
POA insists there is nothing irregular about the proposed project.
We are ready to answer questions of the book dahil maganda naman po talaga yung layunin na yan. Wala naman po tayong tinatago at wala tayong pangangampanya na nasa plano dyan sa book na yan.
For 10 million pesos, the OVP plans to print out 200,000 copies, giving each book a ceiling price of 50 pesos. The price per book could still go down according to POA.
Once we bid it out, maaring bumaba pa yan dahil alam nyo naman sa bidding, yung mga bidders nagpapaligsahan yan kung sino yung lowest.
Just how much will Duterte's book cost? This shop told ABS-CBN News that printing 200,000 copies of a book like Duterte's will only cost around 12 to 15 pesos each. As promised, the OVP sent a copy of the book to Senator Ontiveros on Wednesday. The senator insists questioning the OVP project is valid since it involves the use of public funds. Hontiveros says she will move for the realignment of the funding for Duterte's book as well as some items in the OVP's budget that overlap with programs of other state agencies.
Kung pag-usapan natin yung textbook problem ng DepEd, yung nakaraang 2 taon, ang daming problema, di ba? So bakit inuna ang isang personally authored, kung siya ang sumulat niyan, personally authored na libro? 10 million, maliit kung sa textbooks kabuang budget ng DepEd, pero hindi siya barya.
Alliance of Concerned Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro says she will block the funding of the book project.
Hindi pwedeng pondohan ng gobyerno yung isang libro na siya ang author tapos ipamimigay sa mga tao. Pag ginawa yan, edi kahit na sinong government officials pwedeng gawin yan. Hindi naman kailangan niyang libro na yan, parang propaganda book.
At the end of the day, again, wisdom of Congress ang budget eh. So tayo po ay ang magagawa lang natin ay sumagot sa mga katanungan.
Aside from the Senate, the OVP will also attend budget hearings at the House of Representatives in the succeeding days. Joyce Balancho, ABS-CBN News.
House lawmakers denying impeachment efforts against Vice President Sara Duterte. Duterte earlier claimed she received information that a plot to oust her is being discussed in the lower house. This, she said, is part of a plan to politically destroy her family. But House lawmakers assert auditing the Vice President's secret funds is just part of their job and not aimed at impeaching her.
It basically runs the opposite of what we are aiming here, in the House of Representatives. So it's not only resource-wise, it's too burdensome. It's also politically unwise for me, na yung lahat po ng nagawa ng House of Representatives ay maka-counter just because we need to focus on a certain issue na wala naman pong basihan.
Napakasayang nung oras na napupunta sa usaping wala namang kwenta at wala naman talagang nangyayari.
A Philippine House leader asks Congress to investigate how the Duterte administration accumulated a debt of 7.2 trillion pesos during the COVID pandemic. Deputy Majority Leader Janet Garin says Congress should look into whether the funds were used appropriately. Former President Rodrigo Duterte ended his 6-year term in 2022 with over 12 trillion pesos in debt. His administration had borrowed aggressively to augment funds for pandemic response measures. Let's get an update on the weather now from Pag-asa forecaster Chanel Dominguez. Chanel.
Good morning, Rika, and good morning to all. So currently, easterlies or the warm and humid air from the eastern or the Pacific Ocean is affecting the eastern section of Visayas and Mindanao. Due to this, expect a generally fair weather with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms over our whole country. We also are monitoring a tropical storm which had a international name Shanshan outside our Philippine area of responsibility. This tropical cyclone is unlikely to enter our Philippine area of responsibility and have a direct effect in our Philippine landmass. And that's the latest in Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Chanel Dominguez, and good morning.
Thank you so much, Chanel Dominguez reporting live. The family and supporters of democracy icon Ninoy Aquino Jr. gathered Wednesday to mark more than 4 decades since his 1983 assassination. They held the commemoration despite the rescheduling of the Ninoy Aquino holiday to Friday. The story from Izzy Lee.
Which Earth has given, and human hands have made.
A mass was held Wednesday at the grave of the late Philippine senator and opposition leader Ninoy Aquino Jr. at the Manila Memorial Park to commemorate the 41st year of his assassination on August 21, 1983. In attendance were one of Ninoy's children, Viel Aquino D., his nephew, former Senator Bam Aquino, and other supporters. The activity pushed through despite President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s decision to reschedule the so-called Ninoy Aquino Day from August 21 to Friday, August 23. The non-working day has been attached to the weekend to boost local tourism as part of the administration's holiday economic strategy, a move criticized by some sectors.
Ilang presidente na po gumagawa ng holiday economics at naintindihan ko naman yun. Bilang isang family member, parang mas maganda talaga na i-commemorate yung araw ni Ninoy Aquino dun mismo sa araw na pinatay siya.
Pag inilipat mo siya, ang tingin ng mga henerasyon ngayon is, ay, bakasyon siya. Hindi siya dahil pinaslang si Ninoy Aquino.
Aquino's assassination on the tarmac of the then Manila International Airport is remembered for sparking protests that eventually led to the ouster of the dictator Ferdinand Marcos Sr. in the 1986 EDSA People Power Revolt. 4 decades later, Marcos again occupies the highest post in the land. Bam Aquino responded to rumors about a possible alliance between the Aquinos and Marcoses in the 2025 national elections. He clarified that he will run as an independent candidate but is open to collaborating with the administration on issues that will benefit the country.
Pwede namang magtulungan. Mas mahalaga ang taong bayan sa aming mga pamilya. Ayun, malinaw yun sa akin, no?
Bagilat, who heads the Liberal Party's affiliate party list, Mamamayang Liberal, belied the rumors of a coalition.
We will remain as an independent force. Independent kami from the Marcoses and the Dutertes. And ang pinakamalaking dahilan kung medyo bakit mahirap na magkaroon ng coalition na yon is because of this, no? Yung hindi pa pag-acknowledge na nagkaroon ng masamang karanasan ng panahon ng martial law.
At the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, renamed after the late senator, the National Historical Commission, along with other groups, offered flowers. This coinciding with other activities across the country, along with calls to not erase or forget Ninoy's heroism and his belief that the Filipino is worth dying for. Izzy Lee, ABS-CBN News.